friends, I'm Stephanie Hansen. Let's go! I've been cooking, eating, and talking about it for years.
This is amazingly good.
Now I'm inviting you along for the ride. Stanley! It's the bomb.
Something you cannot live without.
Meet the chefs, home cooks, restaurateurs, and bakers honing their craft.
Everything is going to blow your taste buds up.
And try new recipes with me in my kitchen. It's simple, it's easy, that looks amazing. There's always something delicious to share. These buds got a taste! These buds got a taste! Let's go! This is Taste Buds. Hi Taste Buds, we are going to can and pickle today and make a ferment. We are at my friend Stephanie Thoreau's urban small-scale homestead with her chicken, Phyllis, who's being very kind and letting me pet her today. And we're gonna have my friend Bradley come over and we're gonna make apple butter, see his sourdough, and I'm gonna teach you how to make refrigerator pickles on this episode of Taste Buds. Ah! That's okay. Oh, that was fun. Hi Taste Buds, I'm here with my friend Stephanie Thoreau, and Stephanie is a homesteader, a small-scale homesteader. She has chickens, she has plants everywhere, but she's also a canner, a fermenter, and a pickler, and that's why we're here today. I am obsessed with canning and pickling, and I've learned so much from you, from your book, Can It and Ferment It. What are you gonna show us today?
So I'm gonna give you a garden tour, and then I'm going to show you how to make sauerkraut.
Okay, you have really cute pickle earrings. Can we just observe those for a second?
Sure.
Oh my gosh, are those cute. All right, Stephanie, we're in your front yard garden, and one of the things that strikes me right away is you've got the vegetables, but you've also got flowers interspersed with the vegetables. Is that strategic?
Yeah, to bring in those pollinators.
And this is dill. We're gonna put this in some of our pickles that we're gonna make at my house. Dill is just like, oh, so pretty, so fragrant, so beautiful looking. The kale looks like what they serve you on a restaurant tray as a garnish.
Scarlet kale, I grow it everywhere and it's super good. You can eat it.
And this, you said this is cilantro.
So the cilantro is going to seed. This is the flower before it seeds, and this is edible too. It tastes just like cilantro.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm letting it go to seed because then I can save the seeds and regrow it. Plus the pollinators really love the flowers. I have sage, and this is just lavender, rosemary, thyme, and then parsley, which is my garden favorite.
Do you make chimichurri?
All the time.
I love it.
These are Mongolian giant sunflowers. They get 14 feet tall at their peak, and I've grown them before, and I tried to grow a lot. I have 2 left because the squirrels ate them.
Yes.
But their heads will get up 14 inches across and 5-6 pounds once they're full of mature seeds. So
I love those, and I can't grow them because they attract bears in the Northwoods. Ooh, do we need to go over and look at that Swiss chard? Is it called ruby red?
Neon is the kind I grew.
One thing people may not realize is you can pickle the stems.
Yes.
Holy tomatoes, look at those. Are they brandy wines? They look like it.
They do look like brandy wines.
Yeah, they do. This is giving me all the BLT feels.
Mm-hmm. And then otherwise, I just have a bunch of peppers here.
A bunch. What are these? These look so tasty.
These are Thai chili peppers.
Yes.
They're spicy. And then a lot of jalapenos because I make a lot of pickled jalapenos.
It's my favorite thing. Hi, little friends. Oh, Stephanie, I think it snapped.
Oh, you have to eat it.
Okay.
Just kidding.
All right, let's go make some sauerkraut.
We're just gonna be doing our sauerkraut in a jar today, but I do have a couple other options that I use. This is just a jar with an airlock so that it gases off naturally. That's
yes,
a great
and our
option.
grandmas used jars like this.
Yep, so that's a crock. That is my preferred way to ferment sauerkraut if I'm doing more than just a head or a small batch.
And then this is the special burpee nipple thing, right? What's it called?
Yep, I just call it a silicone lid with a nipple. It's an airlock. We'll put it on our jars. It'll allow the sauerkraut to naturally release the gas and keep all the other contaminants out.
Is this doing that right now? Are these fermented?
They are fermenting. I just started it last night, so usually I let them go 1 or 2 days.
This is so exciting. Okay, I'll stop touching you.
All we need to make sauerkraut is cabbage and salt. So first we're gonna take our cabbage.
Yep.
And we'll cut it in half. You're gonna share your green, I'll share my purple. So let's quarter it.
Okay. Quartering.
And then we'll remove this core.
Bye, core.
I keep them in 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch shreds.
And I like to use sauerkraut with pork, with dumplings, with sausages. How do you eat it?
I use it as a finished side dish. If you start thinking of it like that, like a finished vegetable side dish, you can really incorporate it more than you realize. We're gonna add 1 to 2 tablespoons of salt. I use this kosher salt because it tastes good, it's easy to find, so I use that in my recipes.
So you're kind of squeezing. I was just tossing, but I want to have a squeezy.
Yep, you're kind of massaging it in there, and you don't want to mash it because you'll have a soggy kraut, but you just want to squeeze.
Oh, soggy kraut.
Some people like it soggy. And we're just gonna do this for a few minutes until we can squeeze a fistful and liquid pours out. When it starts flowing like this, I'm like, all right, it's done.
Juicy.
Yeah, it's juicy. So now we can fill our jars.
Okay.
I use my canning funnel. It just makes for less mess when we're filling.
Yep.
And then we're gonna leave some head space. It allows for room for this to ferment because as it ferments, you're gonna get little gas bubbles and it's gonna push everything up. And if there's space for it to push up, it won't just overflow and make a mess. And we're gonna do the brine and everything.
Oh, so you put the brine in there too.
Yeah, look at that. So it's purple now, but when this is done, it's going to be pink.
Just dump that in there?
Yep. So you can either use your fist or this tamper to push it down.
Yep. My hand is, well, maybe man hands.
And when you're doing this, if the first day your brine isn't covering the shreds, by morning it almost always is.
Okay.
And this is just a lid from a small weck jar. I'm using this as my jar weight. So you can use any weight that you want, but these are only like $1. And then I just take any floaters out because anything above the brine can mold.
Okay, I feel like I'm in danger of that. All right, we've got paper towel, we've washed our hands.
Yep, we're just gonna clean the rim off because sometimes salt water gets up there. And then we'll put our airlock on.
Okay.
Now, if you don't have one of these lids, you can just twist on a regular canning jar lid, but then you'll wanna make sure that you're burping it 1 or 2 times a day. And burping it is just, you know, opening it up, letting the gas release, and then putting the lid back on.
These little burpee nipples are very handy.
Yep. So you'll want to store this not in direct sunlight in your kitchen at room temperature. The hotter that your space is, the faster it will ferment. This will take 4 or 5 weeks, but taste it after 3 weeks. If your kitchen is a little bit warmer, just taste it. If it still tastes very raw, it's not quite done yet.
Okay. When we know that it's done and we go to eat it, what does fresh sauerkraut taste like versus sauerkraut that's maybe been heated like at the store?
It's hard to say because unless you've had real fermented food, you don't know that flavor of that like sour and tang because it can't be mimicked. The only way you get that is through fermentation.
Oh, Stephanie needs a little more fermenty action to happen because I got some floaties, so I'm gonna have to check it tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, hi. I got another little friend in the floaties. Are you a crowder? I'm a crowder too. Hi. Oh, there's a lot of snorting happening.
Once it's done to your liking, then you just put on a regular canning lid and put it in the refrigerator.
And how long will it last then?
I mean, almost indefinitely.
Yeah.
I've never had it mold in the fridge after it's been fermented.
All right, I know I'm impressed that you've written all these books and that they translated my favorite book, Can It and Ferment It, in Spanish. I also have Small Scale Homesteading, which really like talks about like if you want to do chickens, if you want to have like an urban farm in your yard, how you do that, how you interplant. I mean, this is like amazing. You've written 4 books and you're writing another one.
Yep.
I don't know. It's like having a child. You birth it and then 2 years later you think you want to do it again. Is that about your cycle?
And then you're like, why? No, I'm
Yes, that's the part I'm in right now because I'm writing another book and I'm like, why did I agree to do it? It's terrible.
It's a lot of work.
My other friend who I'm obsessed with, besides you, is my friend Bradley Trainer, who I worked with at the radio station. And he is like a food scientist and he really geeks out over like canning, and he's gonna teach me how to make his apple butter. And then I'm also gonna do refrigerator pickles because that's my shortcut. And I'm gonna go visit your chickens right now, but thanks for having us over, Stephanie.
Thanks for coming.
Hi Taste Buds, it's the canning and pickling episode and I'm here with my good friend Bradley Trainer from My Talk 1071. Oh, you are like my favorite canning and pickling person.
Well, I'm excited to be here because It's time.
Yes, it is time. We've been talking about it for a long time. So I'm going to teach Bradley how to make my refrigerator pickles. I'm going to teach Bradley how to make my refrigerator pickles. He's going to teach me how to make his bread and butter peppers. And we're going to make some apple butter. Now, Bradley, you and I were talking about pickles before.
Yep.
The reason I make refrigerator pickles is because when I water bath can them, they get so soggy and they don't turn out. So I was complaining about my pickles to my friend Jill.
As you do.
Yeah, I was like, my pickles. So she was like, oh, have you ever done refrigerator pickles? So we're going to use her recipe today.
I love it. Because you can put those on anything. You can make them in a jiffy, and they'll stay in the fridge if you don't eat them all right away for a long time, right?
I think like technically you're supposed to like 6 to 8 weeks. I have refrigerator pickles in my refrigerator from last summer that I'm still eating.
It's fine. It's vinegar.
I use these Persian cucumbers, which have really thin skins, which will be nice.
Yeah.
And I just cut them into quarters. I've got my water boiling. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off because that's all I need to have it do is boil.
Fast.
And I have a 1/2 cup of sugar to balance the vinegar. We have 2 cups of vinegar, 2 cups of water, and a 1/2 cup of sugar are the magic brine
I was
ingredients.
super afraid of sugar before I started doing
Me
any pickling
too,
and
'cause
canning.
we're like low carb, don't eat a lot of sugar
it's bad.
people.
It's terrible for you.
But then you realize it's alchemy, it's chemistry, like it's gonna make the pickles and anything you can taste so much better.
Do you like garlic? I'm gonna assume you like everything I like. Let's just crush
Is there
them.
anything we've ever not liked that we
No.
talk about together?
No. Crush them
Crush?
kind of with the back of your knife just to open them up and release the oils a little bit. So you put those half in yours, half in mine.
Okay.
Do you think I should put the herbs in now?
I would.
Okay.
Why not?
And we have some onions
Yeah.
too.
After I started making pickles, I started doing almost half onions to whatever I was pickling.
Oh.
Because like when they get all pickly, they're great for, sandwiches
Tacos
and
and
tacos.
salads,
Oh, yeah.
yes. This is celery seed.
What kind of salt do you use?
I use kosher salt.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just start this again because I need to get the salt to dissolve, yeah. You like spicy, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, these are
that?
pepper flakes from my friend's Mung's mother's garden. They're a couple years old. I have to really kind of ration because they're real hot. They're very
Wow,
delicious.
those are amazing.
Yeah, and I don't even know what kind of pepper it is. It was just mom's pepper in a jar.
It's gonna be with me at about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Then we are going to pack our jar. I did this to Ellie once when we were doing a hot sauce episode. Oh,
There's so much on my spoon. Why did you do it like that?
we're gonna put our pickles in our jar. And
Okay.
I like to lay them flat. So I'm just like observing any holios and filling those holios.
Oh, I got a holio.
And you can like kind of just, I do have a little hole, but I can't get the right size in there. Okay, so
Got
we've
my
got our
pickles.
pickles, and now we're gonna pour our brine in.
Do you want a funnel?
Oh, no, I don't want a funnel, only because I have one at the cabin and I never use it. But we forgot something.
Oh, dill.
Yes.
Holy moly.
This dill is from Stephanie Thoreau's house, which we just left. So all we're gonna do now is pour our brine over, and I'm just gonna pour it in here. Whoops.
This is how I cook at my house, and I get yelled at constantly.
Well, you don't let Jamie see you.
Well, I try,
You
but
cook in private.
I try. Oh, girl. Okay, here. Time out. Somebody's privileges have been revoked.
I am not allowed to pour.
Are you sure you don't want my funnel?
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay. Bradley, I'm still gonna let you pour because I don't want to ruin your clothes.
Oh, God.
I know, it's just a terrible, here.
Here.
I think
How
we
many
have to
people
go,
does it take to fill a bottle
I think we
of
have to go from
pickles?
higher up.
Like I'm a server at a restaurant.
Yeah, like just really go
oh,
for it.
no, that's terrifying. Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Just got to own it.
Yep. Okay. You want to make sure that they're dry along the top.
Okay.
We're gonna just cap them. You cap yours.
Okay.
I'll cap mine. Make sure your
Shake it.
celery seed gets a little shaken and distributed within your jar.
Okay.
Now you turn them upside down
Okay.
and you leave them in the refrigerator. I usually let them go about 5 to 7 days before I start.
Okay.
But you can leave them in there longer. Like I said, I still have refrigerator pickles in from last summer. I'm not a food inspector, so you use your own guidelines. But there you go. That is the easy
was super
refrigerator
easy.
pickle. To show you that I'm not completely crazy, I pulled out a jar of last year's refrigerator pickles. We'll just see how
Are you gonna
they.
eat them?
They're good.
Those are good.
Oh.
You would have no idea that was
No.
from a year ago. We'll just eat pickles.
Okay, we're just gonna eat pickles, but that's how you do it.
Cheers. Oh, cheers.
I was gonna go all Lady and the Tramp here. Okay, Bradley, it is time to make your bread. No, it's time to make your pickled peppers.
Bread and
from
butter
your
peppers.
pack of pickled
How many
peppers.
packs of peppers can
One pickled pepper each.
Stephanie and Bradley pickle?
So this is your magic brine that you brought that we're gonna heat up.
Which is so magical. All it is really is apple cider vinegar and water.
From there, what is our next steps?
You're just going to take nature's bounty here and chop it up to your liking. And you
Okay.
can see here we just did some basic rings, but if you want to dice or if you want to slice, it's really up to you. Now, I did a combo platter. These are just from the farmer's market, jalapenos and hot banana peppers. And you got a pound of onions. So now what we're gonna do is bring this to a boil. And actually we have in here the vinegar, but we also wanna add a pickling spice. And it's literally just mustard seed, turmeric. Turmeric is awesome because A, it's healthy, right? B, it adds a little bit of color to everything, so it gives it that bread and butter pickle look.
I like it.
And then there's celery seed and black pepper.
Super.
So we're gonna add that to the brine.
Okay.
Let that come to a boil, which it just about is.
Yep. Can I put the peppers
Yeah,
in
let's do
for
it,
you?
but let's not splatter them everywhere.
All right. Well,
Gently. Ooh, perfect. There we go. Do you want to do the onions?
yeah, just our sliced up onions.
So now we'll just mix this up together. Once it comes up to a boil, you want to let it simmer for about 10 minutes. See how it's already picking up the yellow
I was
from
just
the
gonna
turmeric?
say, like it looks electric in its coloring.
Magically, let's pretend this sugar arrived early to the party with the vinegar and the water, but it's totally fine because all we're trying to do is get the sugar to mix in with the brine, and because we're bringing it back to a boil, it'll have time to dissolve.
I'm getting the jars sterilized and ready to fill. We just boiled them in our pressure canner. A handy dandy jar holder. This is a modern one that has like a little bounce in here.
Yep.
The old fashioned ones are completely wire and wood.
And terrifying,
I have that, so you just like have to really grip so you don't drop things.
because I have dropped things.
Yes.
And here's the tip on filling. Because we were gonna process them, we need some air. And so
Headroom.
headroom.
That's what they
or
call
headspace.
that. Headspace.
Max headroom. You wanna have about a half an inch. So we kind of shake it around. So now all we're gonna do is pour the brine, the remaining brine, and again, half inch. I could probably just pour this in.
I'm very, no.
She
You know
knows.
we're gonna spill. Oh, okay.
You know what this is?
I do. It's
Okay.
to get the bubbles out, right?
It's a debubbler on one end, and it's a depth finder on the other, for lack of a better term. So if we wanted to do half an inch to make sure that I was right, we're gonna go about halfway. See, look.
Cute.
Look at that.
I've
Okay.
just used chopsticks for this piece
Hey.
because I'm old and have all old canning tools.
No,
this is
I'm
incredible.
old because I have a bubbler, debubbler. So you just want to go around the rim. You can see some air bubbles coming up now. This gives you a true idea of the depth of what you've packed
Yeah,
in
because
the
you
jar.
can put more brine in there all of a
Exactly.
sudden.
We're
It
right
just
about there.
occurred to me, like all the grandmas that are probably going to be watching this that have been canning for their entire
Oh, God.
lives are watching
Please
us
don't
and
send in
just
comments.
yeah, they'll be like, "What is happening?"
So with a clean, damp cloth, you just want to check the rim to make sure there's nothing stuck. And then for the lid, you just want to make sure there's nothing there. Just look at it. That's it.
Then we screw them on, but like not super tight, right?
Yep, we call it fingertip tight. So a lot of times you think, no, it's in the business, we call it
I
fingertip
know, but you were so delighted to tell me that little fun fact.
Yeah. So it's really easy. All you do, screw on the lid. Now I've got resistance, so you want to do 1 or 2 turns after you get resistance,
Okay.
so that it's tight, but you're not screwing it on. All right, so now we're going to take our bread and butter peppers and bring them into the boiling water bath.
It's
like Our grandmas would be real proud right now.
They would be.
All right, once everything's loaded in there, you're simply just going to lift it up and set it down into the boiling water.
Kitchen timer, 10 minutes, Captain.
Voila. So we brought these out of the water bath canner. We let them sit overnight because you want to make sure that they've created a seal, and then you're good to go. Go for it. Tell me what you think.
Super like spicy, but not too spicy. And the sweetness, but not too cloyingly sweet.
Good.
'Cause I really don't like bread and butter pickles.
Yeah.
But I knew I would like bread and butter peppers. Yeah,
You want to
love.
try it the best way that I know how?
Yes, so we have the beer mustard from Lowney Bread.
And then this is some Beeler's ham.
Beelers.
And then some Prairie
Reserve.
Cheddar.
Cheddar.
Salt makes everything better.
I would like everyone to know that you made this sourdough. And then
Oh wait, we gotta put the.
Yeah, I was like, wait, where's the peppers we just made?
about the cheese.
I'm so excited about the cheese. Okay, this
All right. Is that too much?
No.
Okay. This is a me bite, but I'm gonna make it for Steph. Get it all in there. Don't be polite.
Wow. The creaminess of the cheese with the mustard and the spicy pickle,
I need nothing more in my life right now.
then your sourdough
You?
bread,
All this.
and fun.
Yeah.
Okay, believe it or not, you guys, we have one more thing left. All right, Bradley, we are making your famous apple butter.
Super easy. It's famous because it is literally the easiest thing to make, and people are gonna love it.
And this looks like a torture implement. What are we doing with that?
This is my favorite device ever. So all you have to really do with your apples is peel and core them. You can do that on your own, but I like to get real into the apple season.
Put the peel away.
Dun, 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 dun,
And then-
watch this magic. Watch this happen.
Oh! It looks like I could fry these, like the state fair food.
Oh my God, I love that you're deep frying things.
And I could be like,
Watch this.
okay.
That is a
yeah,
perfect apple.
Exactly.
4 pounds of apples later, the Instant Pot.
Oh.
Your favorite.
My favorite trusty. I love the Instant Pot.
She does everything. Normally, you would boil these down on the stove. You gotta sit there and do all this. No, put it in for like 15, 20 minutes, and that's how they turned out after 20 minutes in the Instant Pot. There's a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar that's
Okay.
in there, and I think that just helps brighten it up a little bit.
All right.
You're simply just gonna add your apples to your pot.
I feel like this is gonna sploosh.
That's fine.
Splooshing.
It's cold, it hasn't gotten hot yet, so we're not gonna burn anything.
Look at that.
Smells like fall.
Heaven.
Adding a little bit of sugar is going to help stabilize it so that the apples are going to stay nice and solid all year long. So we just add that right in, and then we're going to stir the heck out of it until it comes up to a rolling boil. At that point, you're going to lower the heat and let it simmer until it gets to the desired texture. Then you're ready to just put it in the jars and shove it in the water bath canner
Can it?
for another 10 minutes.
Or you could just put it in the refrigerator.
Or freeze.
Through the magic of television, we have now processed our apple butter. Look at that consistency. So mounding on a spoon.
Yep. Look at that. That's perfect. And then just put some of that cheese on there because it's salty. And again, we've got the sweet.
Oh, yum. It really does taste like fall.
Basically like apple caramel.
Yeah, it's way better than applesauce.
Super
It's more
intense, appley.
condensed.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than this.
Thank you so much. I love you.
We had an awesome canning and pickling show. I've been wanting to do this since Taste Buds started, so thank you for coming. If you want to make anything you saw on the show today, the bread and butter pickles, the apple butter, the sauerkraut ferment, or the refrigerator pickles, you can find the recipes on fox9.com/tastebuds.
We did a good job today.
Cheers. Thanks for being my taste bud, Bradley.
Anytime.